It has been a crazy day, absolutely crazy day. I actually just finished recording a new video that's going up on YouTube about property management and the pros and cons of having a property manager and if it's the right decision for you. So you'll be seeing that pretty soon. I need to put the intros and the outros and the pictures and all sorts of stuff. If I just do a talking video like this on the regular channel, everybody complains and they're like, well, why didn't you put pictures in that? This is a video. I mean, hello. And I'm like, okay. What? So, yeah. So I just did that one. It's like 30 minutes long. I tried really hard not to ramble, but y'all know how I am. It happens. I'm sorry. Oh, what can you do? Let's see. It has been crazy. So last week I did not do a live because I was getting over the corona. It's the second time I've gotten it, but I haven't had it, and I didn't have it the first 2.25 years, and now I've had it twice in the last 6 months. So that was fun. And then unfortunately I gave it to one of my sales agents because I didn't realize I was feeling sick. I was just really tired. And so her and I did a call together in my office. I was sitting next to her on the couch. And by the time I was done with the call, you know, we do like a Zoom call. By the time I was done with the call, I was like, man, I'm really not feeling good. I was like, you know, I don't have any more appointments. I'm going to go ahead and go home for the day. And she's like, yeah, absolutely. You know, take some downtime or whatever. And I had just been doing like a whole bunch of really stressful, tax stuff. Getting those 1099s out, I swear, it's just so bad. It's so bad. With property management is insane. So we send out literally like hundreds of W-2s, 1099s, and there's like NECs, and I don't know. It's crazy. I feel like I work for the IRS. I'm an unpaid employee. That's what it is. Anyway, so yeah, get all of that out, and I was stressing because we only had until like January 31st, and you have to, you literally have 31 days, including weekends, to get all of this information and make sure everything is down to the penny done. So I was stressing really bad, and I was working like crazy amount of hours. I think I did like 80 hours in 4 days. It was crazy. At one point I literally thought about sleeping in my office. I was like, I'm just going to be here in the morning. I might as well just lay out. And we're like, no, that's not going to work. So yeah, it was a little insane for a few days there. And I think I just stressed myself out and just took down my immune system or something. But, anyway, but yeah, I actually ended up getting my sales associate, one of them, Elati, total sweetheart. She's always doing stuff for everybody. She's like the go-to person, you know that one person that just, if she says she's going to do something for you, she will bend over backwards and she will do it. If her word is as good as set in stone, okay? If she says she's going to do something, and then she does all of these other things, like she'll pop over to Starbucks because she has a serious addiction, like way worse than I do. She'll pop over to Starbucks and she'll be like, hey, I'm over here and I know what you like, so I went ahead and got you one too. Where are you? And I'll come drive it to you. And it's like, who does that? Who does that? It's just crazy. She's always thinking of everybody else. She's just really, really sweet person. And I gave her the Rona. I mean, of all people, I gave her the Rona. Oh, so bad. Not on purpose, obviously. We were just working with a customer together and sitting next to each other on the couch, and I did not realize that I was just under the weather. I just was tired, but I had just gone through a whole bunch of tax stuff. So, but anyway, I went home, and yeah, really high fever that night, and then her husband got it as well, and it's just cycling through. But she's back at the office. I'm back at the office. But yeah, last week I think I was in my pajamas on Monday night. It was like not happening. I was still at home. Not fun stuff. But yeah. Yeah. What was weird is I actually tested negative. I went to Walgreens, but I had already been through like 7 days. And I was like, oh no, I don't have that. And she tested positive, and then her husband tested positive, and I was like, ugh. So I went, but I tested negative, which is weird. So, but because I know it was the same thing. So I don't know. It was just weird. I have like no faith in those tests anymore. But yeah, I had it, she had it, her husband had it. It was fun, but we all stayed away from the office, so nobody else got it. So it was fine. It was a lot of at home stuff. But of all people, literally the nicest person, maybe aside from Kathy. Kathy is pretty much saccharine sweet. But yeah, so if you ever call my office, you're gonna find this completely sweetheart of a woman answers the phone. She's like everybody's grandma. She is just she lives and dies to take care of people. In fact, she gets more in trouble for trying to like take care of people than anything else. She'll stay on the phone with people for like an hour, and all the other calls are just she has to help people. So that's Kathy. That's our receptionist, and she loves people. Her worst job ever would be to be put in the back room or something where she doesn't get to like be around people. She just loves taking care of people. So that's our Kathy, and then probably Elodie, just both the sweetest people ever. Just give you a toothache, they're that sweet. And yeah, I took one down, but thankfully only one. It was just the one. I figured it out, went home, stayed there. And my husband didn't get it this time, so I was pretty happy about that. So yeah. And of course it was my daughter. She goes to high school locally, and even though she's like split, she does half online school and half in-person school, but she keeps bringing home a petri dish of from the local high school. So she's got to quit doing that. I don't know what she's going to do, but she's got to quit bringing that stuff home. I don't want it. Anyway, what else? So I did the video just a little while ago explaining the pros and cons of property management. Then I'm going to do a completely separate video that I'm pretty sure nobody's going to watch, that is talking about the Federal Reserve's practice of quantitative easing involving mortgage-backed securities. Just stating the title of what it's about, nobody's going to watch this. But it's interesting. I think it's really interesting. It's actually illegal what they're doing. It's actually against the Federal Reserve Act, but it does help. Maybe not according to Forbes, but it does have benefits to the economy, but it also could actually potentially cause a real estate bubble. So I don't know. This is all of the stuff that I was going through researching for the video. I know some of the videos I just do and it's just kind of fun. Maybe it's a really cool pizza place and stuff, but there's others that I researched a lot of information about before I share it with you and try to break it down. And I think I'm going to have to work on the title quite a bit, but I thought it was interesting. So, but yeah, quantitative easing. I think they basically didn't want anybody questioning them, so they gave it a name such as quantitative easing of security-backed market, and everybody's just like, that sounds like math, I'm out. But it sounds terrible, doesn't it? But it's actually really fascinating what they're doing, why they're doing it, and what the potential side effects to it are going to be. So it'll be interesting to keep an eye on that. So kind of interesting, I thought. I don't know. I'm going to share it, but I'm probably going to have like 5 views, and they're going to be like, ew. We'll see. But, you know, stuff that I find interesting, sometimes other people do too. One of our best videos is the one that's moving to Ocala. Here's how our Florida houses are built. Because to me, it's completely normal how they're built, but I see them being built all the time. So over the course of like a month, I was going and taking pictures and video of houses at different stages because they're all built pretty much the same. But yeah, that one, I did that about 24 months ago, and it's had 43,000 views. So apparently I wasn't the only one that thought it was really fascinating how Florida houses are built and how they're different than other places. So it's kind of, you know, sometimes you guys are interested in the same stuff I am. So I don't know. One of the other ones that I am updating are my bills, my personal bills, because of course things have changed. My husband and I, especially my husband, but I have a thriftiness to me as well. My whole family, really, even our daughter, she loves like thrift stores. If you took her to the mall, she'd probably cry. I beg her to go to the mall all the time. She doesn't do that. She's just like, the clothes are so boring. They're all the same. So she loves thrift stores. So I'm excited. I'm coming in 2 weeks. Hopefully it can be. Yes, absolutely. Let me know what day you're going to be here at the office, and I'll make sure that it's an in-office day for me. Sometimes I find I get more work done if I work at my Denellen office or at my home office. I got offices all over the place. Or sometimes I'll have, appointments or something like that. So just let me know ahead of time so I can make sure that I'm working here in this office. This is our Ocala office. Our main office is where I am 90% of the time. But just in case you come on one of those 10% moments, then I will make sure that I'm here for that so we can have some coffee and chit chat. It'll be fun. But yeah. What else? Excuse me. What's another one that I was doing? Our map needs to be updated. I told my husband I wanted to buy a new map. He's like, you didn't even want to keep the old one. And I was like, well, that was old news. Let's see. Another one are our houses in Florida still cheap? That one we are going to be doing an updated version on because I had to guess the price and the tax on these 4 houses. But that was literally 2 years ago, and obviously things have changed considerably. So I want to do an updated version of that. But the bills one should be interesting because everything has gone up, but we are still able to save, and we're still able to do the things that we need to do. So, how are we doing that, basically? We've made some very interesting life choices. Not necessarily everybody under the sun would do things the way we do them. We don't particularly care what the Smiths and the Joneses are doing because we have other plans. So yeah, you'll probably find like some of our choices, our life choices are weird. We get to do a lot of fun stuff. But it's not necessarily the same as other people. I don't know, like we'll go out camping in the forest, and we do tent camping, and we do, hiking and stuff like that as a family, and we do a lot of that kind of stuff. And then, my husband has a senior citizen discount on that, so we spent like $80 to get this card. And so he can basically, he gets like half off at any of the national parks and the state parks and stuff. So, it's super inexpensive for us to go tent camping. So we do a lot, and it's awesome because then I can share the videos of what those particular parks are like with you guys. So, stuff like that. So fun. Love it. Doing stuff around town. We're always doing something around town. So if it's like a weekend where we're not doing something around town, that's actually more odd. But our stuff of doing stuff around town is like going to the Denellen duck race or the cattle roundup, which last weekend was canceled because they were thinking it was going to be really bad weather, but it actually wasn't that bad. They should have just done it. But anyway, stuff like that. We go to the Strawberry Festival in Plant City. They have a strawberry festival in Ocala, but we always go to the Plant City one, which is like massive. And of course we use coupons and we do all this other stuff, but it's just really fun. We love going to see different bands that they have there. If you go to the Plant City, the Strawberry Festival or the Florida Strawberry Festival, you'll see there are some amazing musicians that go there. And you can just choose it used to be that it was actually part of your ticket to get into to the Florida Strawberry Festival, but now you have to pay an additional charge or whatever. But it's still pretty inexpensive. For like $40 for a concert ticket, you can see these amazing performers. So we've seen like, oh my goodness, Rascal Flatts. We've seen, oh man, so many. One of my favorites that actually came free with the show was the guy that sings "It's Me Again, Margaret." I think it's Steve. What's his name? He's my favorite. I love his music. What is his name? Hold on. I gotta ask. Ray Stevens. There we go. So I knew there was a Steven in there. So Ray Stevens is hilarious. My grandmother and grandfather got me hooked on his music so bad. He's hilarious. The music he has is so funny. So, you know, they have like it. If you ever go on YouTube, not right now, obviously, but go on YouTube and watch some of his videos. He has like The Streak, It's Me Again, Margaret, the Mississippi Squirrel Revival, just a whole bunch of them, and they're so funny. So we got to see him one year. So funny. Oh my goodness, there's just so many that we've seen over the years, and just all sorts of different shows and stuff. So we go to that. The kids go on the rides until they make themselves puke. It's just fantastic. So fairly inexpensive, and it's just always a really good time. So, you know, stuff like that we like to do. So yeah, the video I did where it was like all the different dates you could do for $15 or less, that's because we've done them. We have so done them. So a lot of fun. But other stuff, I mean, we want to invest in real estate. We want to make it so our kids have an inheritance. So there's a lot of choices that we've personally made that are maybe not the same as other people. We don't have brand new cars. I cannot even imagine buying a brand new car. We have new-ish. We don't have like super fancy cars. I have a car that I want. I love my car. Absolutely love it. But it's, you know, a couple years old when we bought it, and it's a Toyota Prius, a hybrid. I love it. I absolutely love it. I hate pumping gas. This thing gets like 60 miles to the gallon. Love that car. So we have that. We have a smaller Honda CR-V SUV thing, because we also end up hauling quite a bit of stuff around because of property management or real estate or whatever. So it works for us. But a lot of realtors I've seen over the years will talk about how they practically have to have a Lamborghini. And I'm like, what? Why? You know, they want a Lexus, they want this, they want that. Okay, you want that, but do you need to have that? Like, I don't know. So everybody has to make their choices. If that's what you want, you go for it. You go you. But we try really hard to not have debt. So that has worked out for us. I'm a huge fan for Dave Ramsey. Love his principles. So we try to stick as close to that as possible. Not 100%, but pretty close. So I've found the closer I am to the Dave Ramsey principles, the less stress I have in my life. So we go with that. Anyway. But yeah, so we will be doing that updated video as well as to what our bills are. I have found the perfect solution to grocery shopping, if it's at all possible for you. Use the Walmart app. So great, so great. So yeah, Walmart, or you can do the Kroger app. Some people are like all about Kroger. I don't care which one. I have not actually gone inside a Walmart grocery store in like longer than I care to remember. And some of the stuff, I have to admit, it's better to go into Publix to get like maybe some of the fresh produce. Goat cheese, for some reason, I just have not lucked out very well. So some of the specialty items, going to Aldi or Publix is better. But for the grand majority of our items that we use on the weekly basis, Walmart, it saves so much money, because you don't shop for stuff you don't need. You don't see the sale items and you're like, oh, I need that, and you don't really. It saves so much money, and it's so much time too. You don't have to go in there and go through the shopping lines. You don't have to try and get your cart all over the store. You don't have to go put it from the cart into your car, get it from the car into the house. No, they deliver. So yeah, it's awesome. It saves me so much time, and it saves my shopping list, my most frequently purchased items. So I can just click that and then just take off the items I don't want that week. So great. So great. So cannot say enough for that. It saves us so much money in groceries. It's ridiculous. So family of 4, I spend maybe $120 a week on groceries, and that counts everything down to like shampoo, razors, toothpaste. I mean, everything. So I don't think it's that bad. I don't know, $400 or $500 for your grocery shopping. Maybe a little bit higher just because I do go to Publix or Aldi for some of the specialty items, but not too bad. Hey, I'm new here. Hi, Marie. How are you? Welcome to my live. We do this every Monday at 6 p.m. aside from last week because I was sick and I was in my pajamas and had no makeup on. But yeah, this is where you get to ask questions or just shout out hi or make plans to come down for a visit, any of that stuff. So, but anyway, I've been talking right along for 20 minutes. Y'all got any questions, comments, concerns, anything? Hit me up. The chat's right there. Go for it. Trying to think if there was any other videos. I've been doing a lot of driving videos lately. That's been fun. But yeah, some of the videos I need to do, I'm trying to get in here. I'll be here often. I'm actually moving soon. Just closed. Oh my goodness. So did you close on your house wherever you were, or you closed on your house down here? Like just closed on what portion? Because that was a little confusing because you said you're just going to be moving down here and just closed. So what are you doing? Down in Ocala. Congratulations. You're now one of my neighbors. I don't know where in town, but I'm sure we'll see each other at Publix. If you see me in Publix, say hi. That's always fun. We're walking down looking at the produce or whatever, and somebody's like, hey, I've seen you on YouTube. And I'm like, cool. I don't know. I never know what to say, but it's still fun. I pretty much, yeah, of course. I think it's honestly always a really good experience. I think there was only 2 times in the last 2 or 3 years that were kind of like, that's a little weird. And it wasn't on anybody else's fault or anything. It was just like, okay. Mortgage companies in Ocala that process VA loans. Irving, if you send me an email or put in the chat your email address, I will send you an entire list of the people that I like to use, and every one of them do VA loans. They do USDA, VA, FHA, and conventional. And there's actually one that specializes specifically in VA. So I will get you all that contact information. It's a sheet that I actually printed up. I can email it over to you in seconds. So just put your email address in the chat, or send me an email if you don't want to put your information out for the world. My email address is GER.ExpectMore@gmail.com, and just ask for that and I will send it over to you. But yeah, I don't know how else I could look it up and just reel off a whole slew of phone numbers, but that probably wouldn't really help. So but I'll send you over that sheet. Anybody that wants a mortgage lender, I don't have anything to do with these companies. We're not affiliated or anything like that. So just, yeah, I will happily share people that I know and trust that they've done a good job for my customers over the years. Marie asked about cable internet service. That is going to depend on where your house is, because just because you can get like Spectrum internet does not mean that I can get Spectrum internet, because I can promise you I can't get Spectrum internet. I think Spectrum is probably the best in our area, but it's got a fairly small footpath plan. I don't know. So basically, for cable internet, whoever ran the lines is the one that gets to count those customers, basically. So it's not like you have a choice of multiple companies. You basically have whoever ran the lines first. Because running the lines and stuff is expensive and time consuming for the cable companies. So yeah, that's a thing. If you are in city of Ocala, that's a little different. You have the option of the city fiber optics, a couple of other fiber optic companies that run internet, or Cox. Cox Communications actually has cable pretty much throughout the city of Ocala, but they've kind of, I don't know, they've kind of gotten phased out a little bit. So like here at the office, this is Cox Communications, but our Denellen office doesn't get Cox Communications. It's got Comcast. So I had to be careful. There is one that's through CenturyLink that is essentially dial-up. So not the fastest. I've heard a lot of complaints. So I don't know that I would recommend that as an option. So maybe look into some other options. So yeah, anyway, there goes any chance of ever being a rep for, well, I wouldn't be a rep for them anyway, so whatever. You're welcome. Yeah, depending on where you're at, if you are in City of Ocala, you're going to be City of Ocala Utilities. There is no other option. And they will include the garbage pickup and water. And I've been talking to one of your agents. I'm sure she will offer it to me. Yes, Shanta, absolutely. Of course she will offer it to you. So just ask her for the letter, the recommendation letter. Actually, the utilities, we have a whole nother letter. Can you tell we've been through this before? We have a letter for recommended lenders. We have a letter for recommended home inspectors. We have a letter for all the utility companies, every single one, entire area, and all of their contact information to get a hold of them, including like websites and phone numbers. What else do we have? Home insurance companies. Just basically anything and everything you could possibly use for here. We even have one that has like vendors for like painting your house. That one's by request. That's not one of our basic ones. The basic ones, we send those to everybody no matter what. But the other ones, like our list of recommended vendors is like storage companies, house cleaners, painting companies, just that kind of stuff, handyman, maintenance guys, stuff like that. That's a different one. That's that whole list of third-party vendors that we recommend. That's by request only because not everybody needs that. Oh no, yeah, no, that's not fun. I was actually just talking about, you guys have heard of Angie's List. Yeah, around here it's Andrea's List, and it's a list made of gold. It's vendors that we've used for like 10, 15 years and that I trust for pretty much anything. So with property management, we pretty much have seen, I think we've seen pretty much everything at this point that can possibly happen to a house. I've had, well, just today we had squirrel retrieval. Some squirrels had gotten up into the attic and had chewed into the HVAC lines. So we had to get the squirrels removed and their access to the attic denied or blocked, whatever you want to call it. Squirrels are not, that's actually fairly common. Bats are much bigger problem because if you do have brown bats that get into your attic, they're loud. They're toxic as far as their fecal matter, and they are endangered. So they are protected. So yeah, bats are a little bit different. Those, if somebody says they have bats, I'm just, I would rather have squirrels any day of the week. We have had bee removal. That was fun. Pretty much any bug known to the man in Florida, I've had those removed, or pest control services. So we have a pest control company that's amazing. I have been asked to remove an alligator from the middle of a road one time. It was somebody that moved to the middle of the forest and they were right across from a pond. And they're like, there's an alligator in the road. And I'm like, and? They're like, well, come get it out. I'm like, no! Touching an alligator? That sounds like not my problem. Oh yeah, bats are, yeah. We've had that maybe twice in the last nearly 20 years. So it's not very common, but it does happen. Yeah, the alligator, I'm not touching that. And even, you know, if it's not hurting anybody or anything and it's right by a pond, probably not going to do anything about it. Honestly, wildlife probably won't, especially if you live in the middle of a forest. I mean, what were you expecting? But yeah, we've pretty much got a vendor for everything, anything and everything. We've found somebody that is very good at it, and just goes through. Just wanted to thank you and your team. The best property management I've used. Aw, thank you. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. That is awesome. Yeah, we were just talking. We have our property management meeting is on Mondays. So today we were talking about being proactive with, making sure that things are cosmetically nice. So like way before a tenant moves out, because the least amount of money you have is when you have no tenant, because there's no money coming in, there's no rent coming in. So if there's something like pressure washing or something that needs to get done, you want to do that while the tenant's in there, and maybe coming towards the end of the lease so that when they do move out, it looks all shiny, pretty new. So that was some of the stuff we were talking about, and it's just we have several property managers, and some of the stuff they come in talking about on the weekends is just like, what? It's just so funny. But yeah, we were talking about the pros and cons of coil stove tops versus glass tops. Guess which one is better? Not aesthetically, but just like guess which one is by far and away better in property management. There's a lot of, pros and cons, blah, 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 but which one? Come on. Should have like a quiz come up. Coil tops with the little metal thingies and the drip pans, or the glass top? Marie guesses glass. Anybody else? Especially with property management. Everybody's like, I'm on my TV. What's wrong with you, Andrea? How do I look on the big screen? Coil. Shanda guessed coil. Okay. I got a 50-50 shot. Anybody for the tiebreaker? So this is going with 15 to 20 years experience. I know it's somewhere in the middle there. Hundreds of properties managed, thousands of leases signed, countless appliances that I've dealt with. Okay, so the correct answer on this one, we have found glass top to be by far and away the better choice for multitude of reasons. One is the freaking fire hazard. Those coil top stoves, they have grease that get trapped in the drip pans and down underneath. And a lot of people don't realize that the whole top of your stove lifts up and you can clean underneath there. It's rare that people do, but there's a whole bunch of just gnarly stuff that gets trapped under there, but especially oil and grease, and it can build up and cause fires. And grease fires are very difficult to put out, and they can damage a lot, not just with the smoke damage, but also the flames can actually cause damage to the other cabinets and stuff around in the countertops and stuff like that. So fire hazard is one. Constantly when the tenants move out, we have to replace those stupid drip pans. I had to quiet. It's so awful. So the drip pan, they're not one size fits all. They're all different sizes because some of them, they're like closed on the top and you have to do the plugging thing. The coils themselves actually can, you have to replace those actually fairly frequently. And they actually, I have a pretty good sized dent in the bottom of one of my pans. Thankfully it was a heavy duty pan. It was full of boiling water. But yeah, it's a pretty good divot out of it because apparently something went haywire with my coil top. This was years and years ago. And it literally, a piece of the coil top stove that was burning hot popped up into the bottom and took a very good chunk out of steel. It's a steel pan. But yeah, it took a big old chunk out of it. Can you imagine if I didn't have the pan on there? That would have been a chunk of flying metal going right up into my face. That's terrifying to me. So yeah, that in itself, not good. Excuse me, but it is extremely rare. It has actually only happened one time that we've had to replace the glass on a stovetop. A lot of people think that you have to replace them, that they can get broken fairly easy. It's actually really hard to break those babies. So for that and so many reasons, it's not that much more expensive for a glass top that is basically what everybody has at this point. But the coil tops, they may be about $20 cheaper, but over the lifespan of the stove, it is far and away cheaper to get the glass top, and it is by far and away a much, much better choice if you're doing property management, especially. But regular sales, if you're just looking for your own house, it's actually much cleaner and much less of a fire hazard to use a glass top. That is what I have come to find. If you prefer having a coil top stove, it is your house, it is yours, go for it. Enjoy, have at it. For me personally, after that one time with the stove, I will never ever have one in my house again. But I do actually like having a 5-burner glass top stove, and right now I only have a 4-burner glass top stove. So to each their own. I know a lot of people that love gas stoves. I like cooking on gas, but I don't like having a gas stove. I know that's so weird, but it just kind of smells kind of weird. It has like this, I don't know, this odor when you have a gas stove in your house, and even when you're not using it, especially when you're not using it. I prefer having a glass top, but again, it's preferences. Some people are like, I have to have a gas stove. I absolutely have to cook with gas. And it's like, okay. So we get you gas. It's, again, to each their own. Some people really, really love cooking that way. I know a lot of chefs absolutely would not even think about having a glass top stove or a coil stove. They have to have the flame, but that's not me. I like efficient, easy, less risk. And pretty. It's very pretty. I like having a glass top because it's nice and pretty. Also, oh, I forgot. There's a lot of times that tenants will try to make a stovetop look pretty by putting these little dollar store things on top, covers on top of them, and then they forget which burner they turn on and end up burning one of those. So, yeah, not good. Just not good. Or they'll burn whatever's on top of the cover because they've set like a package of bread there, and it's just a mess. It's just a total mess. What brand of appliances? I love Maytag. I love Maytag so much. We have had some issues with Samsung refrigerators, so I would not recommend those. They're pain. Maytag, but it's expensive. What we normally end up getting is Frigidaire. So the Avana, something like that. They're cheap. I mean, they're okay, but they're cheap. So yeah, we just went and bought a slew of appliances. My husband spent the better part of Saturday in Lowe's because we have Lowe's Pro account because we have, a lot of property management or whatever. And we have for quite some time. So he spent like 3.5 hours in Lowe's, but he had multiple appliances to get because you get a multiple, like it's like buy more, save more. So he did all this research online, bless his heart. He did all this research for all the different properties that were coming up that needed appliances, including one of ours that we're rehabbing. And so we needed all new appliances in ours, and we needed like a stove here and a fridge there. And so he just put in an order in for all of them because it ended up being less expensive, but it was delivering to different locations, and apparently that was questionable. And then we used our LAR account on some, but not all of them. And that was like additional discounting, but not quite. It was a freaking hot mess. But we ended up saving probably a good $2,000 off the whole order. So it was worth it by far. Plus we have like free delivery because you use the Pro account, and they will remove the old appliance for free as well. So it was worth it. It was totally worth it. But yeah, so yeah, he put a lot into that. You should see the stack of receipts going back and forth because that was a hot mess. He is still dealing with it today. But yeah, he got so many appliances and for so cheap. So, and they were all, I think they were all Frigidaire for the most part. So not the highest end, but not the lowest end either. It's just kind of a mid-range So Frigidaire, Whirlpool, we end up getting those fairly frequently. We don't do much with washer dryers in our situation. So normally if a house comes with a washer and dryer, I will immediately get rid of them. I can't tell you how many washer and dryers I was like, you can have them, just get them out of here. I'm not going to be responsible for them. I don't want it. It's more stuff to maintain, and most tenants that move into a house already have a washer and dryer, so those are just going to sit out in the garage and rust, and then they're going to have just go. They have to disappear. So sometimes we'll sell them. It used to be on OfferUp, but now it's Facebook Marketplace, and be like, here, you come pick them up. You can have them $50. Just get them out of this house. Ew. We used to have a whole slew of washer and dryers. It was just like, just come get them, but now we don't. Do not like. More appliances means more things to fix. Not fun. Not fun. Everybody's so quiet tonight. Can't see that. I've got Shanta on here. Yeah, washer and dryer, I would say Maytag. If it's for your own personal house, I would get Maytag, because you're going to maintain them, you're going to have them for a long time, and I've found them to be a very, very good washer and dryer. So, yeah. Now, does that mean that I have Maytag in my house? No, because again, we do not buy hardly anything brand new. So, I have the washer that I absolutely love. It doesn't have the agitator in it. So as long as you're not doing like way too many clothes or whatever, I love it. You can do blankets in that thing. I love it. I don't like the front loading washers because they get like kind of gross if you leave the door closed and stuff. The seal is kind of weird on them. But the top loader that doesn't have the agitator in the middle, it just kind of, I love that one. That one's my favorite. So I told my husband I wanted one. He went and got me one. I'm not going to complain if it's used. But yeah, if I were to go out and buy, no money wasn't an object or whatever, and just buy, I'd probably still do used. I don't know. We like spending our money on other stuff, not a washing machine. But I don't know. I mean, who's going to look at your washing machine? Who cares? Yeah, Samsung and LG, they put some really cool bells and whistles in their refrigerator. Way more. They were trying to basically go and like make it into a massive like cell phone or something. I don't know. When the refrigerator talks to you and tells you you're low on milk, that is just bizarre. They have screens and stuff on them, screens that you can see through. They went really crazy with that. The problem with that is the refrigerator itself is not that great of a product. So the basic function of the refrigerator is to refrigerate your food. Secondary options are all of this technology. So unfortunately, the more things you add to the appliance, the more things that can go wrong, basically. So, yeah, that one, I don't like them. They tend to have more issues than I care to even think about. But yeah, I'm sure some of them are great, but we've had issues quite often with those in some of our fancier houses or fancier rentals. The owners have purchased like Samsung refrigerators, and then we end up dealing with the warranty issues and them not wanting to work on the warranty because that's always fun. So, I like the stuff that has a Lowe's warranty on it. I'm just call them, come deal with this. Lowe's is actually pretty good with their warranties. I don't do extended warranties, but I do like having to call them and they just come out and deal with it. Old-fashioned fridge, freezer on top, fridge on the bottom, more space and lasts longer. Yeah, I have the French door refrigerator, and it's kind of odd because you would think you have more space, but it's like really long. I just got some of those fridge organizer things. They're way too expensive. I'm just saying right now. My husband's gonna be like, what the heck? But I had to get the 16-inch long ones to put in because the fridge goes like way far back. I'm like, So, you know, because I forget the stuff that's in the back. Like, I don't see the stuff in the back, and then I don't know where the mayonnaise is. Because nobody ever puts the stuff back where I first originally put it. I'll put it on the top shelf and then it disappears. I'm like, oh, great. So you got to sort through, practically stuff yourself into the fridge to try and find the mayo. It's not fun. So I got some 16-inch long, like, drawers, basically, additional drawers. They don't have a top to them. They are stackable, but so I can put stuff in and then just pull it out, and then I can see what's in the back, because it's really hard to see what's back there in those French door fridges. They're 16 inches deep once you close the door. That's really long shelves, because you only see about 4 inches up front, and then everything back there is just like, hello back there, send forth the mail. You know, it's just weird. It's like an echo or something back there. It's creepy. Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I found Fred. I clean out the fridge almost every week. Just completely just clean it out. But once in a while, I'll miss something, and then there was something green and fuzzy, and his name is Fred, and I just, like, where did you come from, and why are you talking to me? It's my friend Fred. It's not fun. I don't like that, so I prefer not to have that issue. Yeah, so we gotta get the fuzzies out of the fridge. Because if you miss something, yeah, you'll probably miss it again the next week. So I prefer to take everything out of the fridge completely, scrub the whole thing down, and put everything back. But then the fridge starts dinging at me that I left the door open on accident, and the whole time it's dinging like I don't have my seatbelt on in the car. It's really annoying. So I'm pretty sure there's a way to get rid of that, but I don't know what it is. So, yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the French door fridge that we have. I think I would rather go back to the top and bottom. It's just, I know, sad but true. I think there's more space in it. Or maybe I'm just more used to it, or maybe because the angle you're looking down, you can kind of see more in the back or something instead of trying to reach on tiptoes, or I don't know. I don't know what kind of fridges you guys have, but just a regular top and bottom sounds pretty darn good, actually. It's definitely not one that talks to you and tells you that you're low on milk because it forgot that it was a fridge. At least that's what I found. Don't know. Let's see. What do we have? I saw some new numbers. Okay. I saw new numbers this week for the month of November. Oh, there it is. Okay, so November. Oh, man. January. So we have the January 2023 statistics, because, of course, you guys want to hear all my statistics. I like statistics. I don't know. I'm not a big math person. I don't want to come up with the statistics, but I like reading the ones other people come up with. Let's see. So we are up. We're up a lot. Let's see. Active listings. Now, this is all of Central Florida. This isn't just Ocala. I can wish it was Ocala, but no. So this is like Tampa, Lakeland, Orlando, Ocala. It now includes Gainesville. So this is a large area, but it's all Central Florida. So this is what we have as far as January 2023. We have average days on the market is up 10% from December, and it's up 105% from January of 2022. So some of this stuff is just ridiculous. Active listings, this is funny. So for this whole Central Florida area, there's 39,680 active listings, which quite frankly, for as large of an area as I'm talking about, it's actually not that bad. I think we've got about 2,500 here in Marion County alone. So considering those larger cities and stuff, 39,000 listings, and I think active residential. Yeah, this is listings for residential properties. Anyway, we are up 1% from December, but we're up 112% from January of 2022. Oh my goodness. Let's see. New listings, so that's active listings. Those are the ones that are already sitting on the MLS. Those are the ones that are actively just sitting there. New listings hitting the market for January, we had 17,987. Okay, that's cool. That's up 40% from December, which obviously, I mean, who wants to put their house on the market in December? It's like the slowest month of the entire year. Between Thanksgiving and New Year's, nobody wants to put their house on the market. No, who wants people to come in for showings while you're sitting there for Thanksgiving dinner or whatever? Or you got family coming up for Christmas, or, you know, I mean, that's crazy. Nobody wants to do that. They always put it after New Year's. Anyway, so we're up 40% from December, but we're down 2% from January of 2022. We have less listings on the market, coming on the market this January from last January, which is kind of interesting, I think. Pending sales, we are up again 40%. So pending sales, we have 18,560. So we're up 40% from December, but we're down 18% from January of last year. Kind of interesting, I thought. Listings sold, we are down 23% in closings from December, and we're down 33% from January of last year. So that's kind of interesting. January of last year, we had 14,615 that actually closed, and we only had 9,775 this year. But again, interest rates, hello, they were a lot higher now. Days on the market, it's 45, I said that. Total sales, we are down. Total sales volume, in Central Florida in January of 2023, we had 4.2 billion in sales, which is down from December of 2022. We had 5.4 billion. In January of 2022, we had 5.9 billion. So we're down 29% in January of last year and 23% in December. Kind of interesting. And the average sales price for Central Florida, again, keep in mind, this is Orlando and Tampa, and they are a much higher average sales price than we are here in Ocala. Average sales price is $430,279, which is almost exactly what it was in December, but it's up 7% from January of last year. Just thought that was interesting. For here in Ocala, for Marion County, our median price is actually at $256,000 right now. So yeah, if you were to purchase a house, basic 3-bedroom, 2-bath, cookie cutter house, it's going to be about $255,000. Now, if you want a lanai, a fenced yard, brand new construction, larger yard, anything else, it's probably going to be more than that. Actually, I know it's going to be more than that. If you want a pool, anything like that, no bells and whistles, no frills, just real basic, $255,000 is essentially what you're going to be getting. And the houses have come down in price. Their list prices have come down as well. So kind of interesting stuff. We currently have 4 months of inventory, which is actually what it was a few years ago. So that was kind of nice. We have not had that much inventory in recent years. This is actually nice. This seems very normal. We'll see if it stays. Oh, I'm talking too much. That's why I jumped on my home. It was it was 229,000, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. Nice. Very nice. Yeah, I'd have jumped on that too. It's a good price. Okay. Any other questions, comments, concerns, or otherwise? Because my phone is going to run out of battery and I did not bring a cord in here. Nope. I didn't. So, so we are going to probably cut this short pretty soon. It just gave me the 10% warning. So, yeah. I can maybe take 1 or 2 more questions, possibly. Comments, concerns. 229 is pretty. 200. Did you say 229? I gotta go back and look. 229 is pretty low. Yeah, 229. Wow, good job. Yeah, that's under market rate right now for a 3.2. So, and a 3.2.5, that's even better. So, way to go. That's great. Good job. I don't know if is this time frame working for you guys, because I can change it to 7 p.m. if it works for you guys better. But I don't know. Let me know. I am going to attempt, I believe next week, we'll see, to be on location again, this time in GB Ranch. I tried it last time, but the internet was just giving me the worst time. You do have to have a pretty strong internet to stream for an hour straight. And yeah, it just was not happening. And I couldn't even do like cell phone signal, nothing. It just was not working for me. So I'm going to do the next one over at JB Ranch and see how we do over there. So, but I do like doing the on location thing. So I'm going to try that. So D.R. Horton has some really pretty model homes I'm going to show you on Monday, I think. So, but let me know, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. I don't know, about the same for me. So I guess just holler if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or otherwise. Otherwise, I am going to skedaddle on out of here and get on home. And I guess I will talk to you again next week. Or like I said, if you have any questions or concerns, you can go ahead and email me. My email is GER.ExpectMore@gmail.com, and I will be happy to help you. Especially if there's something that you personally want to go over, that's definitely something that we could do on that. If you want to have like a face-to-face or camera-to-face with just us, you can do that. Go to calendly.com /Andrea Praber, and it's in the description. Normally I have those in the description on my videos, so just look on one of my videos and it'll be in there. But that link actually gives you my whole Google Calendar itinerary, so you can just find a time that is great for you, and it automatically puts it on my calendar and sends me an alert that I need to get up on there and chat and see if we can answer any issues or questions that you might have. So hopefully that helps. Or you can always pop in my office. I am normally here. So yeah, unless I'm out sick. I had somebody come by last week. I felt so bad. Kathy was like, Andrea, you have to come in. They came to see you. And I'm like, I am sick with the Rona. I am not coming to the office, Kathy. I was like, are you crazy? So I felt bad, but at the same time, I wasn't going in. Yes, hello, have some coffee and a case of the Rona. It's like, no. Not good, not good. But thankfully that is all gone and done, so that's a good thing. And we are back to normal for the most part. So now I'm just catching up. I'm going as fast as my little typing fingers can go, I guess. Anyway. All right, well, I am out of here for tonight. If you guys need me, like I said, get a hold of me on email or go ahead and click into my Calendly and we will have an appointment. All right, awesome. Have a great night, and hopefully you'll have an awesome, stellar week. And please feel free to enjoy where you live. If you don't live in Ocala, enjoy where you're at. And if you'd like to live in Ocala, definitely send me an email. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.